That tower's still sending people to the other side. If we act quick enough, we can launch a rescue op before... You want to tell me what's going on here?
I asked the lab to devise a test to root out any more infiltrators. We're testing everyone going in or out of the base. Take them to quarantine.
Too bad about De Silva. Huh, Falk?
Heinrich has isolated one of Mosaic's imperative commands. To humans, it's simple noise. But to an outsider, so much more. Proceed, Doctor. He's reacting.
That shouldn't be happening.
Higher!
I am William...
Carter. William.
Carter!
Agent Carter, I'm sorry to be the one to break this to you.
Where's Julia?
While you were away, there was an accident.
What? Bullshit. What accident?
A fire. At your house in Arlington. Julia and Richard.
Unfit for duty. You're drunk, Agent. Go home and sleep it off.
Jules. Buried before I could say goodbye.
This is your third disciplinary hearing, Agent.
Let me go.
You got me, Will.
Let me help them. Let me go. Let me go.
Awake now, are we?
Yeah. He convinced I'm human yet?
You're alive, aren't you?
Something like that.
Well, you should be fine. The director left an order to send you to talk to him as soon as you woke up. I wouldn't keep him waiting.
Excuse me, Mr. De Silva. Let me just get another sample. Yes, of course. Good luck to you too, Nico.
Good luck, Carter. Carter? Hello? Can anybody hear me? Anybody? Am I dead? Isn't there supposed to be something? Is someone out there? Who's there? Who are you? Carter? No. No. Help! Somebody help!
The lockdown situation.
Over. Big deal. I just don't see the difference. Right. I mean, you do the doors might be open, but where is there to go?
Another infected. William, could I have a word with you?
We need to talk about that test of yours.
My most sincere apologies for what happened at your screening, William. But as you can see, we have a more pressing matter at the moment. This man is infected.
That's never happened in the base before. Or is this another unexpected side effect of your test, Doc?
Nine. I'm quite sure this is from an outside source, but I need your help to find out where, and to do it without causing a panic.
This agent's turning into a sleepwalker, and I've seen how that goes. Unless you found a cure, I don't see how you're gonna help.
It's not a cure, but it may be the first step.
Well, what is it?
I have discovered a way to detect sleepwalker infections at an early stage, before the symptoms present. It will let us treat the subjects earlier, or at least get a better understanding of the conversion process.
Another test, Doctor?
Not to fear, William. This time you will be the one performing the test. And quietly, if at all possible.
The last thing we need is an infection scare.
Precisely. Thankfully, the detective will find any infected within a large area. Here, check in operations, engineering, the main lab, the briefing room, and the hangar. That should cover the base.
And if I find any other infected?
Send them to see Dr. Hera. I will meet you there, and perhaps we can help these men.
During the screening, it felt like my head was going to explode. Any idea what happened?
I have no idea. Perhaps it was some resonance from your earlier exposure to the alien artifact. Tell me, how did it feel?
Like someone was inside my skull using a hammer, trying to break free. It was all I could do to stay conscious.
Yes. And you said something, too. Your name? Perhaps your rank as well?
Hell if I know. For a few seconds, it was all just a red haze.
Well, I am glad you are with us again, my friend.
You said that noise during the screening was something from Mosaic. How did you discover that?
Dr. Veer has been examining the device removed from our captive infiltrator. It would appear that this is how they receive commands from their Mosaic network.
So they're radio-operated?
Not quite, but it seems to give them a sort of subconscious connection to a larger command hierarchy.
And you used the command for attack. You couldn't pick something safer, like dance?
Our control is too crude for specific commands, only general urges. And violence is a very common response, William.
I'll be on my way.
As you say. But if you would like, I have some experiments I could perform on the...
No. I'll check for infected, but I've spent quite enough time as your guinea pig for today, Doc.
Sure we don't have any spies, and we can go topside. Sure as the next channel.
Maybe you can ask one of the sweet ones.
Seen anything interesting in the field?
You know how it is. Rampaging alien hordes, bolts of deadly blue plasma, walking death machines from another world. All in a day's work.
You make it sound like an issue of Captain Thunderbolt.
I don't have to try very hard.
What the hell has Falk so paranoid?
You mean more paranoid than usual? Doesn't trust anybody but Weaver. God knows why.
Weaver's always been a good agent. Certainly better than you.
Except I'm not the one getting into screamy matches with the old man, am I?
We're done here.
I don't know how anyone could have mistaken you for an alien. They have better senses of humor.
You're not looking so good, Agent. Get to the infirmary.
Huh? Why?
Just get moving. Now.
I heard Weaver.
Seeing those sleepwalkers?
No infected here, at least.
All right, boys. Get your gear in order and gather around.
This gonna be another rescue cakewalk, sir? Or are we gonna see some action?
Nothing so boring this time, Kinney. This time we're going into the belly of the beast.
All right, it's about time.
Some of those sleepwalkers are congregating at a tower out in New Mexico. We're gonna find out why and shut them down.
You sure we won't catch anything being around all those sleepwalkers?
You just worry about us getting into that tower. Alive.
Yes, sir.
This is going to be an extended stay, investigating the area, finding a point of entry, and infiltrating. We're going to keep a low profile until we can strike.
Less John Wayne and more James Bond?
That's the spirit. If we're lucky, we might even find a cure for the sleepwalkers.
Is that even possible?
Hell if I know, but we gotta hope, right? Otherwise, why are we still fighting?
Here's to you, Nico. Rest in peace.
Thinking that elevator's gonna open up and my Maple's gonna come along. It's just not happening, buddy. No way, no how. But it could, you know? One of the rescue teams might find it.
I want you to check and double check everything. If you went over it, go over it again. And again, just to be sure. Carter,
what's that?
You'll never believe.
Just checking the
Barnes
area
find
for
you yet,
safe
Carter?
working conditions.
He was looking
all
for you
clear.
earlier.
We caught a spy sneaking into the Avenger. A damn spy. Here.
Shit. Did he do any damage?
Don't think so. We're double checking. But I think we got him before he could do much.
Another outsider infiltrator. God damn it.
Not an outsider. A Russian. We get attacked by aliens, and we still have to keep our eyes open for Reds. Those commie bastards never give up.
A Russian? How did he get in?
Been down here for a while. He got himself assigned to the hangar before the attack.
And he managed to evade capture this long? I'd like to talk to this fella. Where is he?
In the foreman's office, right over there. Falk wants him debriefed before we shoot him.
Here to talk with the Russian? Seems like a lost cause to me, but good luck.
Почему ты здесь? Вранье еще. Питание?
Ну, если ты это хочешь, я думал, мы поговорим. Я думал, что найду русского здесь. Как вы узнали об этом месте?
Мы все видим. Нас здесь больше, чем ты даже представляешь. Ваша охрана просто причальная.
Да, я начинаю соглашиваться с вами.
Вы убьете меня?
Я не знаю, если вы заметили, но холодная война отметнена. У нас гораздо серьезнее гроза. И у вас тоже.
Пришельцы? Да, я слыхал эту историю. Вы думаете, что я совершенно глупой?
Слушай, я был там, вверху. Все правда. Половина мира мертвая, а другая половина зараженная. Не может быть, что только у нас ударили. Я обещаю, что твоим друзьям СССР так же плохо, как и здесь. Но если какой-нибудь из них все еще жив...
Да это просто смешно. Как ты можешь это доказать, а? Голоса по радио и подделанные фотки? Скажи мне, почему я должен верить в твою сказку?
Убийство у вас будет траты. Кто знает, как долго ты здесь скрывался? У тебя есть талант, и нам нужны агенты. Эти пестероны не только американская проблема.
Ты думаешь, это сработает? Ха. Ты слабый. Вы все слабые.
Даю тебе предложение. Я пошлю тебя на палубу. Сам можешь убедиться. Если то, что говорю, верно, вы работаете на меня. Если нет, вы можете отбить на Кубу.
Если я не позволяю себя обманывать?
Что ты заботишься? У вас будет оружие. Вы будете отсюда. Так или иначе, вы не будете моей проблемой.
Ладно. Дай мне увидеть этих пришельцев для себя.
Довольно иметь вас на борту.
Hope you don't mind me listening in, but I think you do the right thing. We need all the help we can get.
That commie is something, but I think he's gonna come around.
You can't trust him, Carter.
Well, it's humans against aliens right now, not Americans against Russians. I need someone to take him out to see what the aliens have done firsthand.
If you say so, I'll set up a recon mission. Let's just hope he remembers who the good guys are.
Heard about your little welcome home party, Carter. Glad to see you're still in one piece.
If we make it through this.
Agent, you need to report to the infirmary.
What? But I feel fine.
Don't argue with me. Just report to the infirmary now. What have you got on the drawing board today, Doc?
Oh, the usual. A few weapons you brought in, some subsystems for the Avenger, and a couple of side projects for when we rebuild society.
Got any new weapons for the field?
Murphy and I have had a lot of luck with what you've recovered, but it's not exactly easy to hybridize their designs with our own.
Seemed to work well enough for the Avenger.
To be perfectly honest, we couldn't have done that without Dr. Weir's genius. Although, he seems to have some ethical disagreements with munitions development.
How's the Avenger coming?
Slowly, but surely. Dr. Weir's been installing the Vengate, and considering the stresses the Avenger would face, we had to reinforce its hull significantly.
I'm still impressed it can get off the ground at all.
Isn't Dr. Dresner's omni-propulsion system astounding? In fact, if we could channel its energy into a single target, I suspect we could achieve a kinetic impact equivalent to...
Snap out of it, Doc. One thing at a time. It's a bit early to talk about rebuilding society, but I'm curious to see what you got.
It's nothing much, but, well, I've been examining what little we could recover from the outsider seeds. Imagine if we could replicate them.
That would certainly make it easier to rebuild, all right.
Yes, indeed. Why, America could use them to build refugee shelters, revitalize devastated areas, maybe even expand and colonize into ex-Soviet territory.
I think you're getting a little ahead of yourself.
Of course, other nations may mistake this for continued alien attack, but the great thing about these seeds is that they could create bunkers and military fortifications, as well as...
Doc.
Oh, sorry.
I've got other business to take care of. Good luck, Doc.
Yes, of course.
Well, doctors, got yourselves a new toy?
I assure you, the Illyrium coil transfer rifle is no toy. What I mean to say is that we are testing a potential weapon for Mr. Barnes.
don't we already have access to the Outsiders' weaponry? Have you improved on it?
There is always room for improvement, Carter. Always a smoother transfer mechanism, or a more advantageous dispersal pattern to search for.
And you've just gotta find it, don't you?
Or die trying. So to speak.
I don't know. It's gonna be hard to fit that into a holster.
Yes, very funny. But once we test the fundamentals, we can work on the miniaturization.
And it'd still be useful?
Oh yes. By combining our ballistics know-how with the enemy's energy weapons, we are on the cusp of a new horizon in weaponry.
Combining alien technology and our own. Interesting. How does this monstrosity work?
It's very simple, really. Imagine a Tesla coil, only with its voltage focused through a charged Delirium ballistic delivery system.
In English?
It's a lightning cannon.
I can see how that would be useful. You need any help testing it out?
We were hoping you would ask. Our usual assistant seems to have disappeared again. Not literally disappeared, mind you. No, of course not. That never happens.
You were saying?
Yes, the machinery is in position. Just press the button and stand clear. And try not to disappear.
That's all I need to know.
Yes, I'm sure you will be a great help. Only appropriate that a field agent be involved. And all that.
If you'd be so kind as to press the button on the device, we can continue testing.
I'm not sure that's gonna be much use in the field, Doctors.
Oh dear.
Let me just adjust the discharge levels. Yes, try it again.
That looks more like it.
Quite satisfactory. But I believe we can do better.
Increasing power levels again. Try now.
I think you've still got some problems to iron out, Doctors.
Is everyone all right?
Better than all right. Did you see the yield? Off the charts.
It's a miracle we weren't killed. Fantastic!
That crowd's test. You were afraid you...
Officer, is the prisoner behaving himself?
Huh? Oh, yes. He's been quiet.
Something on your mind?
Sorry, Carter. It's just... I've had a lot on my mind recently.
How's our friendly local infiltrator doing?
He's been pretty quiet since you had a talk with him. Almost like he's meditating or something. But I couldn't say what's going through his head.
Our last talk was rather revealing. Any chance I could talk with him again?
I don't recommend it. But if you go in there, we'll have witnesses on hand to make sure the person who walks out is still you.
Better than having to take that test again. Is this going to affect your duties?
No. No, sir, not at all.
See that it doesn't. Remember who you're guarding here. What's wrong? Must be pretty important to bother a trooper like you.
It's my girl back in Iowa. She's been taking care of some survivors in a big farmhouse, and she sends transmissions every day, but...
But what?
Latest transmission, she sounded really tired. And, said she found traces of black goo on her pillow.
Shit. I'm sorry.
They're already sending a team to recover as many of them as possible. I just hope she gets back here in time.
Be careful, Rose. A distracted guard is a dead guard. Either get over it, or get a replacement.
Yes, sir. It won't be a problem, sir.
And, good luck.
Welcome back, William Carter. It is pleasant to see a familiar face.
You're in a good mood for a prisoner of war?
As are you. Which means you have recovered a phase plotter. So you plan to go through with your suicidal attack?
So, you really want to see the end of Mosaic? Tell us where they're taking the sleepwalkers, and how do we cure them?
I would not know. I am a warrior, not a scholar. I do not know if it can be cured.
We'll see. You must know something about Axis. If we go after him, what should we expect?
Axis? The Primarch. You are an ambitious creature, William Carter.
Axis, Primarch, whatever you call him.
He is wise and patient. There is a reason Mosaic called him to lead. Do you think it a coincidence that your planet fell so quickly to him?
He's not that smart. We've already tracked him down.
Of course you have. He will let you come to him and then he will destroy you. This is suicide, William Carter.
What are you called?
You do not understand how Mosaic functions. When we are connected, we are Mosaic. Individual names are unimportant.
You're not connected anymore. What do you call yourself now?
I do not know. I have never been concerned with it.
Maybe you should. Help us win, and I'll call you whatever you want. Stick around.
Do I have a choice?
Of course not.
Be cautious, William Carter.
So what exactly is that noise you use in the test?
Carter, you hear Weaver and Falk screaming at each other earlier? I've never seen those two disagree like that.
Hey, Carter, I heard about the silver. Tough choice, but you did the right thing, son. How are you holding up, Carter?
I've had better days.
Whole human race has had better days.
How are we holding up?
Pretty well, actually. We keep taking in more people, but Barnes has those choppers flying day and night, recovering food and gear from storehouses.
We might make it through this yet.
I still wouldn't bet on us. But we've got a fighting chance, and I hear that's thanks to you.
Now that you've seen the sleepwalkers, what do you think?
That's worse than I thought. But at least they're safe in the infirmary. But even so... no, never mind.
What's bothering you?
Look, it's not right to mention it, but we're losing a lot of food and water taking care of them. Without them, we'd have another 4 months of supplies.
What else would you recommend?
Well, nothing right now. But if this war turns into a long haul, we'll have to ask ourselves if we can afford to be so merciful.
Your old buddy Falk nearly had me shot.
Not the first time. Well, it'd have been a couple of times he nearly shot me, too.
This isn't a joke.
No, son. No, it's not. It's real goddamn life, and there's a lot more at stake than your ego. So walk it off, and try to remember that he's watching out for our whole species.
But what if he starts abusing his authority?
If that happens, I'll stand right beside you. But just fight one war at a time.
That's everything I need.
All right then. Good luck out there, Carter.
I've nearly found him, Myron. He's so close. Put me on this mission and I'll hand you his head on a platter.
We're sending Carter after Axis. This is what he does.
Then send us out together.
No one's going anywhere until we know where to look. Agent Weaver, I know why you want to go after Axis. I cannot allow personal feelings to interfere with the mission.
Something going on I should know about?
There you are. Agent Weaver has tracked Axis to the Pacific Northwest.
Oregon. His base is in Oregon.
I'll leave it to the two of you to narrow down our search area. Something smaller than an entire state.
We should talk, Carter.
Angela, Agent Weaver.
It's okay, Will. How are you feeling?
Like hammered shit. But I'm still here.
Good. We're onto something.
You and Falk have a problem?
That doesn't matter. All that matters is finding Axis.
All right. What do we know so far?
I've tracked Axis to Southwest Oregon. Somewhere remote.
Everywhere in Southwest Oregon is remote.
There's a lot of forest out there. Enough room for Axis to hide. But I found something. Radio signals.
And they're not ours?
No, I triple-checked, and Ware confirmed it. The broadcast isn't human. What I could translate mentions Axis repeatedly. They must have some sort of facility there.
Chelsky or Crud might be able to help. They're both smart enough to put one and one together and come up with two. I'll talk to Chelsky, you track down Crud.
Good idea. I should have thought of it.
You'd have thought of it if the old man hadn't got you all riled up. I'll check in with Chelsky and Weir, too.
Thanks, Will. This means a lot. Meet me back at Falk's office when you're done.
Sure they are.
Chelsky.
Sir?
Heard anything interesting?
I hear all sorts of interesting things, sir. How many of them are true? That's a different question. You looking for something specific?
Agent Weaver found a signal in Oregon. I need you to look at this.
She mentioned something about that. Oregon, right?
Yeah, she thinks there might be a facility there.
Well, let's see.
Let me know what you find.
I should be able to pin it down soon. Agent Weaver already did the hard part.
I'll come back later.
You heading outside? Not much left to see out there.
Hey, you hear about Fredrickson? Turns out he was a plant all along. Caught him just in time.
William, thank God you're all right. You are all right, aren't you?
Yeah, I suppose I am.
You had everyone worried.
Yeah, probably not just about my health. I hear you've been helping Agent Weaver track down information about Axis. Anything I should know?
Yes. It's absolutely imperative you take him alive. We need to take his mosaic implant from him while he's still alive. It will automatically erase itself if he dies.
What's so special about this one outsider?
Axis is one of the few who have been to the core of the alien network, where the being they call Origin seems to reside. I can take that information from his mind if he's still alive.
How do you do that?
It's quite remarkable. It has to do with how they process information and communicate with the Mosaic network. It involves electrical pulses.
Well, if you think you can do it, that's good enough for me. What happens once we have those coordinates?
We go to the alien homeworld.
You sure it'll work?
Fairly certain. There's more guesswork involved than I'd like. If I had more time, or if I had Lawrence here.
Buck up, Doc. At least if it doesn't work, we'll all be dead.
Very reassuring, Agent Carter.
Now you know how it feels.
The world is an uncertain place. Sometimes the things we're most sure of.
You're talking about Lawrence, aren't you?
Yes, I suppose I am.
Look, You thought you could trust him, and when it counted, he came through. I don't know why he helped us, but human or not, he did.
I wish I could just ask him why he lied to me.
Why does anyone? We got work to do.
Right.
That means you've figured out how the phase plotter works.
I believe I have. The boys in engineering are installing it on the Avenger even as we speak.
You picked up a lot in that tower.
I managed to gather a great deal of information in that alien tower. The scope and complexity of that network is just remarkable.
We're lucky to have you on board with us.
It wasn't luck that brought me here, Agent Carter.
Let's hope the Avenger can handle it. I'm dying to see where these things come from.
Hey, you hear about Fredrickson? Guy was a bit of a klutz when he came here, but he's really helping out. Said he owes you big, Carter.
Third Agent Weaver locked herself in the house.
I trust this isn't a social visit.
Chelsky tracked down the outsider signal near an abandoned campground in southwest Oregon, just where Agent Weaver said. It's Axis. It has to be. The sooner we find Axis, the sooner we find Mosaic and get these assholes off our planet. Agent Weaver's been tracking Axis for years. She's obsessed with bringing him down. She deserves to be there, Falk.
That's the problem, Agent Carter. I need someone who can keep a cool head. But barring that, I'll make do with you.
This doesn't make any sense. You're hiding something.
What's your point, Agent?
Tell me what's going on, Falk.
We need to take Axis alive, and you are our best chance to do this. Dr. Weir needs whatever information the bastard has stored in his head. If he dies, that information is lost. Understood?
Don't kill Axis until we have the information. I get it.
Good. I'll signal Barnes to prep your team. We're running out of time, Carter.
Trust me. I know. She's one of the best agents we have.
And you're the other one. We've already lost De Silva, Nils, and at least a dozen other senior agents. I'm not gonna risk losing 2 more of my best assets on a single mission. Especially not when one of them is a risk to the mission itself.
But you need...
Attention! Unauthorized launch! Sky Ranger Foxtrot 901. Return to base immediately.
God damn it.
Weaver.
Jesus Christ. She's gone after Axis.
And here you thought it'd be me who'd go rogue.
You need to stop her.
Stop her? You're not sane.
No, of course not. Not unless you have to. Find her and talk her down. We need Axis alive.
We need them both alive.
Exactly. Gear up and head to Ops when you're ready. We'll go over the mission details.